everybody, we had some great trades today. We made a lot of profit. BNS, I told you yesterday, it was closed on the buy zone here, on the green line here. And today it went as far as more than 1% up. You could have taken good profits. And also you can see all the indices perfectly. It touched the sell zone, came back to the buy zone. This is MES, US 500, S&P 500. You can see from sell to buy zone, 1.69. We had a gap up. In the sell zone, it came close to second standard deviation, perfectly sold here. Nasdaq touch above second standard deviation, perfect sell here. And from here to first standard deviation, it was down 2%, and it went all the way down to 2.43%. I was giving you guys all these updates throughout the day, and I'm giving you guys these updates as a trial. You can see going forward, I'll be giving pre-market updates, afternoon and end of day updates to only members. And if you want to join, there's a join link in the description of the video. The membership is very cheap. It's like $6 a month. That's like really cheap. I think you should really take advantage. You can make money for the whole year in just one trade. So also, if you don't want to join, that's okay. This is free video. End of day, I will provide buy sell zones for you to review tomorrow. And if you like the content, hit the like button. There's a thumb sign at the bottom. Just takes 1 second to like. Share it with your friends and family. And let's go. So I will quickly start with the buy and sell zones and see what stocks are in buy zone for tomorrow. And then we'll review crypto. We will review indices and then tech stocks and commodities. Okay, we'll review longer time frame towards the middle. So going with the US 500, you can see this is S&P 500. It went to around 46.9. So these red lines are sell zones and these green lines are buy zones. These are quick trade zones only for 1 day for day trading. This is live futures right now. You can see it went to 46.06, went above second standard deviation red line and went close to the green line here. Now this is not where you short. I repeat, this is not where you short, although longer term I do expect a little bit more pullback, but this is the time to buy. Okay, so for as soon as tomorrow, you should be looking to buy SPY. So let's see SPY. You can see SPY is a cash market. It touched just to the bottom 451, right there where I was expecting and bouncing. So this is where you should be buying triple Qs. It's a bit still far, but the futures, this works well with futures. Futures touch the buy zone and now it's bouncing. So even US 30 is also in the buy zone. US 2000 is in the buy zone. So all indices are in a buy zone. So this is not where you should be looking to short. Should be looking to buy first thing tomorrow morning for a bounce. As soon as you get some profit, 0.5%, 0.4%, 1% exit. Okay. All right, wheat is also in the buy zone. This is something basically I bought end of day today. And you can see here, actually just now the market opened, fell a little bit lower, but that's okay. It's still near second standard deviation. Wheat is very, it bounces a lot of volatility on this. But you can see right now, live market just touched second standard deviation, which is a great time to buy wheat. And Enbridge, also towards the end of the day, I took some positions in Enbridge. This is the biggest natural gas utility sector in Canada. So this is also in the buy zone. Everything was in the buy zone. Gold is also in the buy zone. I'll show you gold miners. They were in the buy zone. Silver. So you can take as soon as trades on Friday. Natural gas is on the buy zone. You can see right there. It's touching the buy zone. Crude oil is in the middle. So nothing to do here. Hang Seng Index came close to the buy zone, and Bitcoin touched the buy zone. You can see it's in the buy zone, and now it's bouncing. So it could bounce and it could sell. You can see it came from sell zone to the buy zone, and now it's about to bounce. So the bounce looked to exit around 29,452. Ethereum, same thing. It's in the buy zone. Look to exit around 1875. Quick day trades. Dollar was bullish. You can see dollar pumped. That's why stock market, gold, Bitcoin all dumped. Commodities dumped mainly due to dollar. But we'll see how long this lasts. Copper in the buy zone right now. Corn in the buy zone. It's a sale, guys. Super sale, super sale. Everything is in the buy zone. Soybeans in the buy zone. Sugar just jumped up, so we can ignore that. And you can see NEM, Newmont Mine, biggest gold miner, is in the buy zone. SIL, Silvers Miner ETF, is in the buy zone. Gold miners are near second standard deviation. Great time to buy. Junior gold miners are in the buy zone. XLK test the buy zone. XLE in the middle, nothing to do here. XLV, nothing to do here. XLU is in the buy zone. Utility sector. Industrial, nothing to do here. Real estate sector in the buy zone near second standard deviation. So these are quick trades you can take as soon as market opens tomorrow. Buy it for a quick bounce and then exit. Tesla in the buy zone, Netflix also in the buy zone, Google in the sell zone, Microsoft keep dumping, looks like it's in the buy zone, Apple in the middle, Meta massive pump, Amazon very close to the buy zone, tomorrow earnings, so we'll see how it goes, Snowflakes in the buy zone, and let's quickly see what else is there, Shopify in the buy zone, PayPal in the buy zone, let's see, Disney's in the buy zone, just touched and bounced. Nike just touched and bounced. Honeywell is in the buy zone, bad earnings, below third standard deviation. There's a massive gap. So from here to the gap fill, we can go as long as 5.98%. MasterCard in the buy zone, Visa in the buy zone, or everything mostly in the buy zone. You can see here Starbucks in the buy zone. Uber, nothing here. Verizon in the buy zone. So these are quick trades you can take. Telus near third standard deviation. Fill this gap so you can get rid of this. BCE, second standard deviation. We can ignore Costco, Walmart, nothing here. Coca-Cola, nothing here. UNH, nothing. PFE had a dividends. Pfizer, now it's in the buy zone. So it fell a bit below because of dividends, but still in the buy zone. MCHI, nothing here. Baba, nothing here. Baidu, nothing here. These are Canadian banks, and we can ignore them for now. I think CNI, CP, and nothing here. WCN in the buy zone, and BN is in the buy zone. CNQ coming very close to the buy zone, but yeah, and then Zoom was up, and target came from the sell zone, second standard deviation. Okay, guys, so hopefully this was helpful for as soon as tomorrow. If you have any stocks you want me to put in this list at the end, just mention with the comment. I will add it in the end and I will show you the zones for tomorrow. Let's quickly do an overall analysis. Let's get rid of this indicator. Let's get our moving averages for daily time frame analysis. And let's start with Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin, you can see what's happening on Bitcoin. If I zoom in, you can see it's still not able to. Let me get rid of these indicator here. You can see it's still struggling to cross above this resistance here, and you can see green line is still below red line, and I don't see any green dots, so still it's bearish. And if I go to 1 hour chart, can see it was trying to go above, but then this big resistance here which I drew yesterday is now selling off. Okay, still trying to recover, but I really want to see on daily chart. Let me bring these moving averages in. These basically Bitcoin should cross above this white line, which is 20 EMA. As long as it's below that, it's not bullish. The good thing is it's above this red line, which is 50 SMA, daily SMA. So it's stuck between green, white line and red line, 20 EMA and 50 SMA. It really needs to make a decision very soon. But indicators are telling me still there is bearish pressure. If we go to this trend line, you can see tags of this trend line look to buy. If we go there around 28,000, that will be a great buy. And also I'm looking for a bounce very, very soon. So look to buy the dip, and I think I'm going to go with a new high for later this year. Ethereum holding this trend line very nicely. If I zoom in, you can see finding support on this 50 daily SMA line, and still very good here for Ethereum. Okay, that's on crypto. Let's quickly go to VIX. Massive jump here. You can see I had this posted yesterday. Massive jump, but finding resistance on this daily 50 SMA line. We can have a little bit of pullback and then another massive bounce. VIX is ready to jump. You can see it's making new lows with divergence on PP and RSI. So Bitcoin was coiling here. Sorry, not Bitcoin. VIX was coiling here, and it's ready to pop higher. So be very careful here. SPY, this is daily chart of SPY. So I was expecting a new high, but you can see what happened. New high happened on we also got a red candle. So this candle took how many candles it negated? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 days, more than a week of price action, one day it's all gone, and it printed a massive red dot. That's a sell signal, and you can see there's divergence on PPO, so that's very bearish shine. So I think what happened, I was expecting this to be like this, so it already happened. So let's see where we go from here. Are we gonna bounce or not? But this looks like a sell signal here. Last time we got sell signal here. It bounced after that. We got green signal, but as of now, I'm looking for lower prices. Let me get rid of this. Just remember there are multiple gaps to the downside. So I think it makes sense for S&P 500 to come down to fill some of these gaps before it can go higher. So let me try to get the right arrow so you can see. Oops, sorry, I got the wrong tool. Uh, let me see what happened to the arrow. I think let's just, sorry, give me a second, guys. Something messed with my tools, looks like, so I might have to, uh, I'll figure this out later on. Let me just draw this arrow for now. Okay. Triple Qs, same thing here, triple Qs. You can see here, there was a gap here. If I go to 1 hour chart, we did not fill this gap fully, but we are selling off. Seller stepped in a bit earlier, but on daily looks like the gap is filled. So we could have done top here. Now we're going lower. We'll see. Just remember there are multiple gaps here, so you got to be very, very careful on triple Qs. And also there's this trend line. So at minimum, I'm looking for this trend line. So from today's close to this trend line, it's around 5.8% downside. Dow Jones bearish candle, looking for these gaps to fill. IWM massive engulfing candle, so looks like the top is in, looking for a little bit lower prices. Let's quickly review other stocks or other sectors. Let's look at wheat. Wheat daily chart. Now it's finding support on this 20 EMA line, white line. This is where it made a new high here. Now it's in a process of making a higher low. For in any reason, it should not go below 682. That's going to be very bearish. I really want wheat to hold here now. And if we now draw a Fibonacci retracements, let's quickly see from the low here to the high. If I draw, it's right where 0.382 to 0.5. It's right in the buy zone here. So we can draw a box here. This is the box, and it's right there in the buy zone right now. So let me draw some color here. So you can see here, wheat is right in the buy zone. Okay, gold sold from my resistance area here, but it's finding support on this 50 SMA line. It is possible we can go lower. There's a gap here around 1870. So be a bit careful. It is possible gold can go lower before it bounces. So we just got to be mindful of that, there could be lower prices in store for gold. Let me see here. Arrow, I found arrow finally. This, okay? Silver will do same thing, but gold will do support, looking for support on this trend line. Natural gas, finding support on this trend line, nothing changed. You can see it was selling off today, but found support where it should, right on this 50 daily SMA line and on this trend line. So this was a good time to buy natural gas, looking for higher prices. Crude oil, massive, you can see making a higher high, higher low. Now it is possible it can come down for a back test on this 200 EMA line, blue line. And if that happens, that's going to be a good buy the dip possibility. Already covered Bitcoin, bonds going below my buy zone, which is not a good news. So let's see. It really needs to bounce here. I don't want to see new low, but let's see if it can bounce. But this is not a good news for bonds. Try to be very careful here. The main reason dollar is going higher, you can see dollar had a breakout candle. It's above this 20 EMA. Ideally, I don't want to see dollar above this, but it is above that, so it might be possible now market needs some correction, dollar will go higher, Bitcoin and gold will go lower, so market might be on a risk off mode. So you can see right where it should be, there's a resistance here, and dollar is now trying to cross above that, so be very careful. Dollar is looking very strong here. Copper right on the buy zone. You can see bounce again, back tested now touching the buy zone. This is where you should be buying. Corn coming close to the buy zone, finding resistance here, but this is a good time to buy corn. Soybeans made a new high and now it's going lower, so it's buy the dip. Nothing changed here. Sugar still not able to cross above this trend line, so wait for this trend line to cross. Also finding resistance on this 50 daily SMA line. So when this crosses above this, that will be a good sign. And let's quickly look at, I think we already looked at SPY, triple Qs. Let's look at gold miners, GDX. Fill this support, this gap yet. I think 1 hour still a little bit left. So tomorrow I expect this gap to fill. Also coming very close to this trend line. You can see support, and now coming very close to the trend line. So look to buy it perfectly going through my projection. This is the time you want to buy gold. XLK going lower, and let's see if it bounces or not, but we have to be a bit careful, mainly because there could be a little bit of bounce now before we go lower, but overall XLK is looking weak. XLE, multiple gaps or downside, looking for lower prices. XLV, I wanted it to cover this gap first, close this gap, but looks like it doesn't want to do that, wants to go lower. We'll see. Just be mindful, it's still possible. This is a risk off sector. Still possible, you can go up and close the gap before it goes lower. You can see price went way above this green line. So usually price comes and touches this green line always before going higher. Utility sector, massive sell signal, but finding support right on 200 EMA, which is a good sign, but also there's also this trend line, so keep an eye. I think this was a breakout, now coming back for a back test, so nothing to worry here. Looking for higher prices on utility sector. Industrial sector going lower as projected. XLRE looks like I wanted it just to close above this, close this gap. Looks like that won't happen now. We might be going straight down to close this gap. There's no gap, sorry. There is a trend line, so we might be going down to close this trend line on XLRE. XLF, be careful, multiple gaps on the green. There's green downside, so just be mindful of that. Tesla, bearish candle, 3%, 3.2%. You can see all these gaps. Let me hide these lines. You can see it's below all the moving averages, but then also it's now above. There are these support lines, 50 daily SMA, 50 EMA. It's around 246-ish. It's also a massive gap around 235, and also this trend line. So looks like at minimum we're going to fill that gap for sure. We might even come to this trend line, so be very careful. So I'm just gonna make a mark here, like I think we're going here to fill this trend line. Netflix coming close to the trend line, looks like it's not gonna bounce anymore, so yeah, just keep an eye. It's very close to the trend line, a gap here and also trend line, so this is where I will be looking to buy Netflix. Google, a massive gap here, so that gap is still not filled. But eventually that gap will be filled, so nothing here. Microsoft down, it's very bearish close. It's below this 50 daily SMA and 50 EMA. I think it's coming to this trend line, so nothing special here. Apple, bearish rising wedge on divergences on PP and RSI, looking for lower prices, close right on this trend line, and looking for lower prices on Apple, so nothing really changed here. Meta, massive bounce on a gap up, and you can see it gapped up. You can see if I zoom in this trend line, you can see it broke down, then back tested. This was a fake out above this trend line. Now we are going lower. Okay, so I think Meta might be heading lower, and you can see all these gaps to the downside Meta has to fill. Amazon earnings coming 3rd of August next week, so right on this trend line. It closed and now it bounced but gave everything off. So we'll see if we can hold this trend line. We can still expect a bounce on Meta. Snowflake, nothing interesting going down. NVDA gapped up today and still this gap is not filled. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see this still this gap is not filled, little bit of left. But multiple gaps are downside. I have no interest in buying NVIDIA at these levels. I want to buy at the bottom, not at the top. AMD gave all the gains. This is a reverse Thor hammer. Looks like lower prices are in store. And let's see if there's anything else we should be reviewing. Disney is also basically, if I go to 1 hour chart, looks like this gap is filled, so we can get rid of that. But Disney is also in the buy zone, right where it should be. So this is a good time to buy Disney, in my opinion. Another stock which is good to buy is Pfizer. You can see PFE very close to another. Basically, is that a gap down? Let's see. Yeah, there is a gap down, so we can draw like a horizontal line here. So this is a gap down, but Pfizer's earning is coming very soon, 1st of August, so it could be a very bullish move that time. ABBV had a bullish earning. You can see it crossed above this 200 EMA line, SMA line, and then now it's gap up. So looks like healthcare, it's like 50-50. UNH, biggest healthcare provider, right on this trend line. You can see resistance, and now finding resistance. Multiple gaps to the downside, earnings gap. Is it going to fill that? That's possible for going higher. We'll see what happens. And yeah, I don't see anything else interesting. If you have anything else you want me to review, comment below. And I wish you best of luck for tomorrow. Bye bye.